Welcome back to another quick draft Neon Dynasty. I think it's about my sixth one. We've just had the end of the season, so I got an extra 1,000 gold, so it's just pushed me above 5,000. So there's also, this is April the 1st, so we've also got a mixed up sealed event, which I'm gonna, hopefully that's available for a while. That's a good way to make some gold as well. It's only 100 to enter and you can get 300 gold back. But we're quick drafting today, I think. We can do the I might do the sealed deck if this doesn't go well. My previous draft this week it was a green-red modified deck. I think I splashed black for Hidetsugu and white for a Ganjo Uprising and a pacifism effect. I think we went 1 win and 3 losses, so it's kind of a modified themed deck. We didn't have any flyers. I think we had about 5 removal spells. And we wouldn't just. I thought the deck was all right. We had a couple of the, the monkey in the bath, the thing that gives you +1/+1 tokens. But it wasn't. We didn't quite draw what we needed, and we didn't have. I don't think we had enough evasion. We didn't have any flyers, and yeah, it was tough. So, right, first pack. We're definitely picking this one. So it's green. It's got reach. It is a modified payoff. It makes all the modified creatures get trample, and whenever a modified creature deals combat damage, it ramps a basic land out of my deck, which is pretty amazing. We're not going to get too carried away. Again, we're going to try and pick the 5 best cards in the first 5 packs. And of course, I'm drawn immediately to this rare here, Thousand Face Shadow. So I am rare drafting to build my collection. So I'm definitely going for this guy. When he ninjutsus for 4 mana, you make a token that's a copy of another target attacking creature, and you get to keep that token. It enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. So that's a great way of copying your creatures. It doesn't say non-legendary, but I assume if you target a legendary like this guy, the token will fizzle, because it doesn't say. Hasn't have any rules text about the legendary rule not applying. Okay, so we're taking that one, and it's worth having a look to see what would I pick if I wasn't rare drafting. I might. Well, I think I'd look at the green stuff. There's nothing amazing in green here. I think that actually Patchwork Automaton jumps out at me, so that's quite easy to modify. You could even, getting it this early, you could even try and make an artifact deck and hopefully get another one. Because that could be a huge threat, potentially. I did see one guy with a vehicles deck who used Anchor to Reality as well. It's a bit of a long shot picking it. I don't think it's not a good card. You don't want to pick that. This guy makes treasure tokens. I've never actually used him. Yeah, I think you would, if you're not rare drafting that, you'd go for the automaton. But I think this is the best card in the pack as well. The rare happens to be the best card, so we'll just pick it. Oh my goodness! Well, we've just been given a 3rd rare in a row. I don't have 4 copies of March of Burgeoning Life. I think this is the weakest March, I believe. It's probably got an F rating in most draft tier lists for Kamigawa. So we'll just read what it does. Choose target creature with mana value less than X. Search your library for a creature card with the same name as that creature. Put it onto the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. So that's really weak. That's incredibly weak. I was thinking you'd be searching your library for. I mean, you'd be looking through your library and picking a creature card. You've got to choose a creature card you've already got, which just instantly makes that very weak. It doesn't let you recover from like a sweeper or anything like that, and it's useless in draft because you very rarely have 2 copies of a creature. So. Absolutely worthless card. I'm going to draft it anyway. So what am I missing out on? The best card here. So Dragon Spark Reactor. If you drafted your Patchwork Automaton, of course, you'd be delighted to see this in the next pack, and that would go towards your artifact deck. Then you've got 2 artifact payoffs in the deck. Otherwise, there's a big trample creature there. There's some mana fixing there as well. So yeah, I think you're just missing out on Dragon Spot Reactor. That's the best card in the pack here. So I'm not too worried about just rare drafting this. I think that instantly will go into the sideboard, because I don't think it's playable at all. Right, so no rare this time. Where's my rare? Okay, we got pretty lucky. We had 3 rares in a row. We have Essence Capture, counter to target's creature spell. That's very playable in draft. Everyone is going to be playing creatures. It is double blue. It puts you quite seriously into blue. Yeah, the Shrine, it's first strike, and you can ping a player or a planeswalker each turn. I don't think I'd ever try aggressively drafting shrines to try and make a shrine deck. It seems like about the weakest possible strategy you could try. The least the most inconsistent strategy you could pick, I think. But it can't draw there. I've definitely seen people using this card. Pretty strong in the late game, I suppose. I'm a fan of the Puzzlemaker. It's a good blocker. It's a flyer, so it blocks flyers, and you can scry with it every time it attacks or taps. Good card. Yeah, Shattered States Era. I've not used this one yet. It's definitely you kind of, I think when you play against this card, you're on the receiving end. You kind of see the ceiling of the card. It's only going to get played against you when it's absolutely devastating. But realistically, it's like a 5 mana card. It's that's sort of quite high variance, I would say. Right, Careful Cultivation. This one lets you put a monk into play, a mana monk. It's also an aura that you can use to get reach and also ramp. That creatures can make mana. Imagine if you had a Puzzlemaker with that, it would be a 2/7 and you could tap it for 2 mana, which would be pretty nice. It wouldn't need reach, of course, because it's already got flying. So I think I'm gravitating towards this guy, the Greater Tanuki. So this is green mana fixing. We've got Kodama, so we're already in green. We're quite happy about playing green. And then there's the Terrarium, which is the colourless sort of mana fixing. So we're going to take the Tanuki. We're blue and green so far. We're hoping we're going to see maybe another turtle today. That'd be nice. Okay, what have we got? Shot Mechanic, Selfish Samurai. So, Mirrorshell Crab. Pretty decent, sort of dual role. It's counter spell or a big creature. So that's, I'd put some value on that. Then we've got some, it's kind of a blue removal card. That'll sort of wheel around if we need it. I don't like Spell Pierce particularly. Crackling Emergence, that makes a modified creature. Yeah, Synthesize is good, Voltage Surge is good. Obviously, yeah, Voltage Surge, come to think of it, is the best card in the pack, isn't it? It's any cheap red burn spell is great in draft. But looking at, whilst I want to pick the best card in each pack, I've got awareness of what I've already picked. So I've picked two strong green cards and a strong blue card. So that means I'm not going to go into a third colour just yet. I think, and Geothermal Kami is kind of, it's a combo card. You can bounce an enchantment. You could bounce the Tanuki, but why would you want to do that? The best combination is with the black card, Twisted Embrace, the best one I've found. So that's the aura enchantment that destroys target creature when it comes into play. So we're not playing green-black at the moment. We'd maybe take that if it wheels around, but I think I'm gravitating towards the crab. Let's go for the crab. Right, what is the best card in this lot? Befriending the Moths. So we probably won't even consider white anymore. It's an okay blue card. Okay, this is not bad. It's cantrip removal, so you have to deal damage. So it's almost like giving one of your there was a card that gives your creature death touch at instant speed, and it's a cantrip as well. You draw a card, so a little bit like that. Quite a good card. I think Kami's Flare is the best card in the pack. And there's another Geothermal Kami. So I think because Geothermal Kami it's a combo card which it's kind of weak on its own. I don't have anything that combos with it yet. So I think we just take the best card, which is Kami's Flare. Potentially we go 3 colours, which we can support. We've got Greater Tanuki. We can put a bit more value on sort of mana fixes now, and it looks like we are getting quite a big choice of red cards. So I think this is where an experienced drafter would say, well, red's open because we've got a Voltage Surge making it to pick 7. That's probably that's a pretty good sign. Red's open. So I don't rate Spell Pierce. I mean, I've been on, again, whenever Spell Pierce gets played against you in draft, it feels terrible because obviously you're seeing the ceiling, the absolute apex of Spell Pierce, but you're not seeing it so much when it's sitting in people's hands doing nothing. Which it tends to be my experience when I play Spell Pierce. Occasionally it's amazing, but Bearer of Memory, it's quite a funny creature that it costs literally 6 to put counters on things, which is so expensive, and it's not that cheap a creature either. So yeah, we've got Dramatist Puppet, Shrine Steward for your Shrine deck there, you see. But definitely the best card here is Voltage Surge. So we've got 2 burn spells now. Right. Towashi Guide-Bot. I don't have this card yet. But I did. I was looking through artifacts I don't have. I saw this card. It looks quite interesting. So it's a 2/1 for 4 mana. Puts a +1/+1 on target creature, so it modifies something. So that's good. So effectively, it's 3/2 in terms of stats for 4, but with that nice modifier effect. 4 to draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each modified creature you control. So this is absolutely amazing. So this is our card draw guy, and he also modifies something. So it's not 4 to draw a card; it'll be 3. Even if he modifies himself, it's going to be 3 to draw. So I think we're definitely going for that. Mnemonic Sphere is another card draw thing, but it just draws 2 and then goes away. Very good black removal there, but we're not going to go into a 4th colour. And another modify payoff. So Towashi Guide-Bot it is. I'm trying to get into the habit of using the this deck layout button a bit more often, so we can have a look at our curve. So 2 1s, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a couple of big things. You want to play, really, Thousand Face Shadow is a 4-drop. You definitely want to play it on turn 4, but if you can. Still, he can, I suppose he can power up other ninjutsu things. I don't think there's any red ninjutsu, but there are a couple of green ninjutsu things. I think the Kappa Tech Wrecker is a really good one we want to look out for. Now, there's actually this is a fantastic modify card. Unfortunately, it's in black. So evasion creature for 3, it's got menace, and it's 2/3 for 3. When it attacks, you can bring a creature card to the battlefield for value X or less, where X is the number of modified creatures you control. So it's a huge modify payoff. So far, if we do a count of our modify cards, I think we've only got Towashi Guide-Bot as a sort of modify fuel, if you see what I mean. And then our modify payoffs are Kodama and Kami's Flare. So what are the other options here? I don't really like Unstoppable Ogre. But it is an artifact, and it makes something unable to block, which can be handy. But 4/1, when you've got 1 toughness and there are plenty of things that do 1 damage in the format, it's not great. So Grafted Growth would be the safe choice here. That is because it looks like we're going to stretch to 3 colours. That will not only ramp, but it's covering different colours and it's modifying something. So that's pretty great. But that is a common. I'm confident we're going to find some other mana fixing later. I'm going to pick this uncommon, and we'll just see if we can support it, if we can play it in the deck. Right, and well, there you go. Another Grafted Growth has just popped up. So I don't think we're going to be playing 5 colours. I don't think we're going to be playing white. So we'll go for the Grafted Growth. Why not? So we've got 2 sort of fixers in green. This is pretty interesting. We've got a choice of. I think we'll just skip over. So this one, it's pretty good. I every time I see this in draft, I go, wow, that's pretty good, and then I pick something else. Favor of Jukai. It's basically a combat trick or an aura. I think it's quite good. but we've got to be looking at our mana base. So I think, strictly speaking, Uncharted Haven is going to be a much better fixer than Thornwood Falls if we're going 4 colours, obviously. So we'll pick that fixer as well. Right, Essence Capture has gone back around. It's definitely playable. It's pretty heavy into blue. We could be playing blue. And there's the red first striker, or there's an artifact. And the thing that actually makes my decision, Essence Capture actually modifies one of my creatures if I actually cast it, so it's definitely got to be Essence Capture. But, I mean, it's looking iffy, isn't it? It's double blue. It's going to be hard to cast that one. What often happens, though, I go 3 colours and I'm able to trim it down to 2. So we'll just try and figure out at the end what the best colours are. We might just end up cutting out blue completely, because red's looking pretty strong with the 2 burn spells. Hot Shot Mechanic or Spell Pierce. I have a feeling I'm probably never going to play Spell Pierce, so I'm going to just pick a Hot Shot Mechanic for my collection. Look, a late Imperial Oath, so if we want to splash white for that, we could. Black-red, that's actually perfect. So, that's nice. We've actually got 2, 3, 4 fixes so far. Can support whatever we want to do. We've got a nice black-red mythic here. Hidetsugu Consumes All. So far I've just seen Hidetsugu, the creature card, a couple of times. Is this playable? Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. This will blow up my Thousand Face Shadow, which isn't ideal. It's not gonna... I don't know. Yeah, 1-drops aren't that popular in draft. You occasionally see them. I suppose it would blow up a Ninja's Kunai. I think that's quite a popular card. Well, it's popular. I use it whenever I see it. Then it's Exile All Graveyards. Oh dear. Well, that kind of fights with Unforgiving One, who wants to bring things back, and then exile the Saga and bring it back. And it's a 3/3 trample. Whenever it deals damage, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Well, what's that? That's a modifier effect. That goes with my deck. And whenever it deals damage to a player, if it's dealt 10 or more damage to that player this turn, they lose the game. Right. So what you're saying is it's good against life gain. You don't care if your opponent's got 10 million life. If you deal 10 damage, it can still win the game. So, yeah, that is technically a modify card. So I think we're picking that one. Right. Let's have a look through. We can ignore white, basically, at this point. Alright, so, I don't think I've seen this ninjutsu guy. So, Rat Ninja for 3/1, 2 mana. 2 mana to ninjutsu. And he's an artifact creature as well. When he enters the battlefield, target creature control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. So he's basically got Death Touch, Lifelink. So if you've got an unblocked thing, he can give the blocked thing Death Touch and Lifelink, that's pretty amazing. That might be the best card in the pack. And I think we definitely want to play Hidetsugu Consumes All, even if it's a bit dubious with its first couple of things. The first couple of effects probably aren't going to do anything, but the creature you get is amazing. So I think really when you look at this card, you go, right, it's a 3 mana card, but it's effectively it's going to start doing, it's going to come into play turn 5. So it's basically a 5 mana 3/3 trample that has a really awesome sort of modify effect on itself. So yeah, I think you'd, considering that creature, you'd want to play that for 5 mana, I think. Right. So we might, if we're going for some, yeah, is it worth going into black just for these 2 cards, I suppose? Well, we'd like this. So Thousand Face Shadow. The good thing about him, he actually he's very cheap evasion. I'm just going to check my recording. Yeah, there we go. He's very cheap evasion, so kind of that's what you want with other ninjutsu things. So I think that could definitely work. The other card that jumps out at me is Modern Age. That's my favourite blue common in the set, and that could be a nice bit of fixing early on. You can draw and discard a couple of times, bounce it with ninjutsu and use it again. I saw someone do that. Right, there's a nice bit of green creature removal there. So I guess you'd call this, I mean, it's a creature and it's conditional removal. I think, yeah, let's. It's tricky. We might not be able to play this. I'm gonna pick this guy and see if we can support him. I think at the end of pack 2, we've kind of got to make a decision. See if are we going to cut one of our colours. Okay, in this pack we've actually got a rare. We've got Light Paws. I've got 4 copies of Light Paws already because it seems to be. Yeah, I think the AI has decided it's a trash rare, so it's not rated very highly. You often get past it. But if we look at the rest of the colours here, I'm looking at the red. There's nothing amazing. I mean, Reinforced Raining's pretty good. That would be if we. Yeah, I mentioned the artifact deck earlier. That's perfect for charging up your artifacts. But we've got some good blue stuff. We've got Essence Capture and Modern Age. That's saying how good Modern Age is. So Modern Age is probably what we're picking here. There's good white removal. We don't want to go to a 5th colour particularly. Tamiyo's safekeeping. A nice little trick. So yeah, Modern Age is the pick here. Right, okay, so we've got Rabbit Battery. I feel like we are probably playing red. It's a modify effect to equip creatures. It's very cheap to equip. The drawback is it gets eaten up by Hidetsugu. And it's each non-land permanent. It's not each non-land creature. So that will get popped by Hidetsugu. So that's maybe an argument against it. And we see another Modern Age, which I think that's a safer pick. That we can play Modern Age and Hidetsugu in the same deck and not get sort of punished. And again, the same problem is with Network Disruptor. It's going to get popped by Hidetsugu. I think we're probably playing Hidetsugu. So, Modern Age again. Right, discover the impossible. I don't have to read this card. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Exile one of them face down and put the rest on the bottom of the library in a random order. You may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost if it's an instant spell with mana value 2 or less. If you don't, put that card into your hand. So yeah, it's basically like a I'd call that an impulse effect. You get to look through a chunk of cards and find the one you need. Quite powerful, but I don't think that we've got... Oh, we do have, by the way, a 2 mana instant. We do have Kami's Flare, we have Voltage Surge. That might, in that case, that might be quite good. I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good card selection card. And we're pretty heavily into blue now. We've just got a couple of Modern Ages. That helps really round out at the blue part of our deck. We're seeing a lot of white removal. We're not going to get distracted by that. Puzzlemaker's good, but it's got a sacrifice effect there. We just go straight for this. Discover the impossible. Aha, there he is. I was waiting for the turtle to turn up. So this looks like a pretty easy turtle. Worth mentioning, right, Containment Construct. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, you may play that card this turn. So that goes very well with things like the Modern Age. So quite tempting to play that. We've also got Mirrorshell Crab. I think we definitely go for the Sky Turtle. I'm going to check if we've got any art. Yeah, we do have a few artifacts. I don't think there's any artifacts we want to sacrifice with Voltage Surge. I'm wondering, we might splash for Kami's Flare and Hidetsugu, but we might just drop the Voltage Surge. That's a nice fixer that helps you find your planes, but as tempting as it is, I'm not going to go into white. Yeah, that's a big creature, isn't it? 5/5 with ninjutsu. We've got a bit of a ninjutsu sub-theme going on as well. We're trying to do everything. Yeah, we kind of need to sit down and think what we're actually doing. He is just a big creature. I think he's not one I usually pick. Right, Fang of Shigeki, Death Touch. Again, 1 drop, so we don't want to play that. Harmonious Emergence. Okay, this goes with our modify theme. If you enchant a land, that counts as a modified creature. And we could go for the green-black land. But I think we'll go for this big creature. That's our choice. Now, if we think about it, if we're playing 23 land and 17 cards, we kind of... You've got one really good artifact here. You'd need 8 cards in each colour. If you want to play a 2-colour deck, you need 8 cards in each colour. So... we don't have much red at all. But we're actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 blue cards. Basically, we're there with blue. Black is looking very much like a splash colour. We've got 5 green cards. We feel like, since green is our mana fixing, we need to... ideally would get a few more green cards. So it's looking green-blue for our Skyturtle, black-red for a splash. So right, there's a late Moonfolk Puzzlemaker, which we think this is probably the best card here, but it's a black 1 mana card, which we're trying to avoid 1 mana things. I think so. We just go for the Puzzlemaker. Right. I think what I was saying earlier, we need more green cards. However, what has actually wheeled around, let's not overlook this, Containment Construct. Whenever you discard a card, you can exile it and play it this turn. That's great with the mod. When we've got 2 modern ages, I think we have to pick that one. As good as Fade into Antiquity is fantastic as well, but I can't resist a bit of a combo, so I'm going to pick that up. And what do we immediately see? Another modern age. I definitely go for 3 modern ages. Right, do we go for a second essence capture? We're going very heavily into blue. There is the black-red land that would cover both of our splash colours, potentially. But this is pretty awesome for modifying things, so I think that is a great card. I have not used the bronze cudgels yet. It is an equipment, so it's a modify effect, and it's 1 and 1. So I think that's cheap enough to use. I don't think we use that. I don't think we need an artificer. We're not an artifact deck, so yeah, we're a modified deck. So we'll take the equipment. Blue-white we don't need. As good as Tamiyo safekeeping is, I just don't. I don't usually use things like this that often. I think I just prefer to keep my creature count up. If there's one really crucial creature you want to protect, that's when maybe you consider these kinds of things. Yeah, I've got a few big creatures. Yeah, I think I'd just go for another Puzzlemaker. Oh, another Mirrorshell, a late Mirrorshell Crab, lovely. So it was really giving me loads of blue cards now. So that's 11 blue cards I've got. And a green-black land, which is very welcome. We want to still splash for this guy. Aha, now we've... I don't think we can splash for white, but I don't know. Yeah. We saw all those great white removal cards, no, but I don't think... I think we're just picking this, we're just rare drafting this guy. That would actually, I think that'd be my 3rd or 4th copy, so I think I've got a Ishin deck incoming. Let's not go crazy. Let's not put him in the main deck. I mean, the chances of playing him on turn 3 are going to be astronomically low. But he still might be good enough, even if he's like if he was a 6-drop. It's probably going to be until turn 6 before I've got an even chance of casting him, right? That ability might be good enough, even if it's effectively like a 6 mana card. Right, Covert Technician. Let's do a quick artifact count. Got 8 artifacts, and it can bring something that costs 2, an artifact that costs 2 or less into play. So I don't think that's happening. There's just got 2 targets. So as nice as that is, I'm not going for that. Discover the Impossible. We know that that's really good. We read it. You just you could even discover the impossible. Find an essence capture and essence capture a creature. That seems pretty good. So we might go for a second one of those. Right, we've got Tamiyo's Completion, so we've got an out-and-out removal spell here. I think I could happily take that later in the draft. I think it might wheel around. Got, mana elves there. That's another kind of mana thing. That's another fixer. I kind of like Discover the Impossible. I think we're going to try playing 2 of those this game. And it's it is mana fixing, isn't it, as well? Right. Okay, I don't think so. Right, Blossom Prancer, yeah. Now this one, again, you look at the top 5, you can get a creature or an enchantment. If you whiff, you get 4 life. So that's ahead at the moment. That's looking like maybe the best card. And out of curiosity, do we have many enchantments? We have 8 enchantments to choose from. So that's pretty sweet. So that's just card advantage. The other really good one, there's another Greater Tanuki, which I'm tempted by, but I think I've got to pick the. This is this is card advantage. It's card selection as well. It isn't mana fixing, however. It could find a Greater Tanuki, of course. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going for, and we'll just have a cursory look through. Right, yeah, it's Blossom Prancer, isn't it? We need a few more green cards to kind of justify green being in the deck. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think that's. You can see, yes, green is definitely the secondary colour. The mana curve is starting at 3, so we're mostly going to be a blue deck. Right, very interesting. We're not going to be able to splash for a double white. There's a 3rd essence capture. Now we like this because it is modifying a creature. Do we want a 3rd one? Or do we want Silver Fur Master for the ninjutsu aspect of the deck? I'm so tempted to get Silver Fur Master, but it feels like the wrong choice. We'll just have just a quick look through here. That's quite a good green card. It might wheel around. Can blow up flyers. Another Puzzlemaker there. Do we go 3 essence captures, or because it feels like maybe 2 is about the right number. I think I'm picking a Silver Fur Master, but mainly for my collection. Because I don't see myself playing 3 essence captures. 2's probably enough. Oh, look, another Elganjo Uprising. What am I missing out if I pick that? I've got probably enough cards for a decent deck here. I could get a blue-black land, which might wheel around, of course. And Mirrorshell Crab's the other one. So I think, I'm just going to red draft that one. Should be pretty easy to complete my collection of those, to be honest. Alright, so yeah. So this is a pretty good card. But, I want to get a few more of these. So yeah, mostly white cards. We've got a cheap blue creature there. This is actually really amazing. Prodigy's Prototype. It makes pilot tokens. But we're gonna I think, yeah, we have 30 cards in the deck. So yeah, including 3 lands, so 27 cards. So we need to, I think, let's try and cut 4 cards now. Personally, I would cut Voltage Surge. I think we just, as good as Hidetsugu is, we'll just see what the deck looks like if we just drop black and red completely. And then we just, once we've done that, then we can, and if you're dropping black and red, you drop these 2 lands as well, I think. Well, we'll keep the lands there for the moment. So 24 cards minus the 3 lands is 21. So we're looking for 2 more cards to add, basically. And I think this is a decent deck. This is quite playable. But we're really weak on removal. We've got 2 essence captures, and that's it. How much modify have we got? We've got bronze cudgels, 2 essence captures. We've got grafted growth, so that's 4. That's 5. That's 6. So we've got 6 ways to modify. It's not a lot, but because we could even think of, you know, if black and red are just a bit iffy, we could think of splashing white. I just wondered, do I need an Arm Guard Familiar? Am I going to play it? It's because I've got, actually I'm not too bad for 2 drops so far. 3 Modern Ages, Containment Construct. Well, and 2 Essence Captures. Yeah, that's the curve. Maybe the curve is fine. I think we're going to take a Prodigy's Prototype. Pop it in the sideboard. It's just another option. Oh wow, okay, we've got Enthusiastic Mechanaut. Now, I've already got 4 copies of these. I don't have that many artifacts. I do have quite a few. I've got 7, apparently. Okay. Yeah, so if you're splashing red, yeah, you're not playing him on turn 2. as often. I think the practical card here to get is the Bamboo Grove Archer, and then that's a removal card. Solid removal card. Yeah, let's just take that one. Right. Another familiar Disruption Protocol. I think I don't want too many counter spells in the deck. I mean, that's a good counter spell. It counters anything. But knowing how I play the game, I'm not disciplined enough to know to just leave my lands untapped for a counter spell. So I think that the safest choice, knowing my playstyle, I think I'll just go for a second Bamboo Grove Archer. Right. I can't really see past a fourth Modern Age. That just speaks to me. Oh, that's good. We get a late Tamiyo's Completion, so we have some removal. Okay, there's nothing I can use here. I suppose, you know, I was going to splash black. That would probably be the option there. Okay, Essence Capture number 3, or Moonfolk Puzzlemaker number 3. We could try it. We could try 3 Essence Captures. We do really need to modify our creatures. That modifies as well. But it's devoting an entire card just to maybe saving something and modifying it. This finds lands and enchantments. But green is kind of my secondary colour, so I don't know if we play it that much. 11 enchantments. I think I'm much more likely to play Commune with Spirits. There's also the blue-black land. Yeah, I think it's just maybe too hard to play. Hidetsugu consumes all. I think we just have to say goodbye to to that card. I don't think it's happening in this deck. Yeah, we've got this thing. So, Commune with Spirits at the moment. Yeah, that's potentially good. I think what are we splashing black for? There's Unforgiving One. It's probably the one that makes the most sense. It's a modified payoff. It can bring cards back from a graveyard. I don't think we play Silver Master. I think that's just not quite going to work. Okay, so I think it's Commune with Spirits. Well, I think we did pretty well in that draft. In terms of my collection, and I think we've got a decent deck out of it. Actually, let's sort of count the number of rares I got. There's 3 there. That's number 4. That's number 5. Number 6. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. 6 rares. That's one of my best drafts for my in terms of my collection building. So let's see. Here's the question: are we splashing anything into the deck? Well, we've already got to take things out of the deck. So that's the land base. I suppose what we'd really like to do is play our Thousand Face Shadow turn 1, Essence Capture turn 2, and start building them up. Got Containment Construct and Modern Age, 4 Modern Ages, so that seems pretty good. We've got several ways of finding the card we need as well. Commune with Spirits, Discover the Impossible, and Blossom Prancer. Thinking, so I would need 7 modified creatures to bring Colossal Skyturtle back with Unforgiving One, which is a bit of a long shot. I suppose Kodama is potentially mana fixing as well. If you manage to get a modified creature to do some damage. I think I don't see really an easy thing to cut from this deck. I've got to cut 4 things. Maybe the bronze cudgels aren't that bad. So I think, well, maybe they're not that good. $11 enchantments, 17 land, so and it's got a lot more blue, hasn't it, than green? 16 blue, 9 green. So I think what I'll do is I'll call that end of part 1. I'm going to have a bit of a think about what I cut from this deck. It's definitely, I don't think it's worth splashing red for Cammy's Flare and Voltage Surge. Splashing black for Silver Fur Master. Yeah, Unforgiving One. It does. I don't know if I've got a few fixers, but I don't know if it's really worth it. That would be splashing 2 colours, wouldn't it? So I just don't think that's doable. Yeah, okay, I think that's end of part 1 there.